Proper geeky mixologists are probably going to hate what I'm about to show you, but for the rest of us normal bartenders, what I'm about to show you is an easy way to put fun riffs on some of your favourite cocktails. Now, I recently had a fascinating conversation with a bar, a kind of mid-tier bar, not proper out-and-out cocktail bar, but a mid-tier cocktail bar that wanted to do exactly that, but they were kind of stuck for inspiration. I mean, just as a base starting point, when I start to have these conversations with bars, a couple of the drinks that I will sort of give them ideas about is like I absolutely love the guava daiquiri, and maybe a chili and watermelon paloma. While they did like the idea of those drinks, they actually wanted something a little bit more special. Something, an ingredient maybe, a theme that was really going to set them apart from the competition. So we sat about for about half an hour or so, scouring like websites and their supplier lists, looking for different ingredients that they could possibly buy. Nothing really captured them. Nothing thought, oh, you know, that's going to work. So then I turned around to two of them and said, why don't you just create something? Why don't you just make your own ingredient? Now that was met with a little bit of resistance because this was a semi-busy bar. They didn't want to pay people extra hours to come in and batch up and make these ingredients from scratch. So they weren't kind of on board until I explained how I do it. Once I showed them that you can create something truly unique using ingredients you've already got behind the bar, all their eyes started to light up a little bit. Now in the bar world in general, this is nothing new. This is simply known as batching, putting 2, 3, maybe 4 ingredients together just to make it easy to grab one bottle and use that in a cocktail. Now I'm not going to give any secrets away of the ingredient that we came up for these guys, but let's just say it was loosely based on a sort of a spiced mango. But what that did for me was that lit a fire inside me, because this is something I absolutely love to do. I just haven't worked out how to do it in a video that's going to actually prove to be helpful to you guys. That is until now. So here we go. Let's dive in. Let's show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's show you what this ingredient is. And then I'm going to show you the 6 cocktails that I've made using this. Let's dive in. Cheers. Now, of course, this is nothing new. Think Don the Beachcomber and just 3 of his ingredients that he used to use. Don's own mix, his gardenia mix, and then Don's spices. But of course, these recipes and these ingredients are from the 1930s and 1940s. And well, the bar scene, the cocktail world has come a long way since then. And look, you guys that have been following me for a while might be thinking, hang on a minute here, is he really going to be making homemade liqueurs? Well, no. I'm going to be taking a slightly different approach. I haven't just randomly turned into a mixologist overnight. I am comfortable being a bartender, and that's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm not going to be using fresh homemade syrups and ingredients to make these liqueurs. Why? Because it simply goes against every ethos that I believe in. I don't want ingredients that are just going to last maybe 7 to 10 days in the fridge. I want ingredients that are going to quite happily sit on my back bar for months and months, maybe even years. I don't want to make anything that's going to have to live in the fridge, and I certainly don't want to be making anything where I've got to spend hours prepping in a kitchen. And I have to admit, even if I did have time to do that, I still wouldn't do it anyway, because it's not something I believe in. So the liqueur I'm going to show you in this video is going to be long life. It is going to be shelf stable. It is going to be faff free. And any liqueurs that I show you, any ingredients that I'm going to start making in the future, is going to follow exactly the same principles. So to make these, there's going to be 5 things that you need. Firstly, an empty sterilized bottle, which I've got here. You're going to need something to measure slightly bigger volume. So I've got graded cylinders here for that, you know, just for purely for ease. You could, of course, use jiggers. You're just going to have to use like 3 or 4 of those jiggers, where you can just use a graduator. So they're literally like £5-6 on Amazon. Really, really cheap to get. Then all you're going to need is your imagination, your existing ingredients from behind the bar, or you could purchase new ones, and then either a notepad or an app to make notes so you don't forget how you've made it if you really love it and want to make it again. Now, the name that my first liqueur is going to live under for now is my spiced, honeyed, funky banana liqueur. I was thinking about doing something similar to like Don when he did Don's mix #1, #2, etc., etc. But I've got my sort of fashionola, which is more of a syrup there. And I thought, well, do you know what? Let's give these names of what they actually are. So, now, There's a couple of bits I'm going to touch on in this little bit of blurb, but just for now, just to run you through the ingredients I've got here. I've not bought anything especially here. I've already got this sort of stuff behind the bar. The Jamaican rum, if you cast your minds back on the Blue Channel to probably September 2023, I did a Jamaican rum deep dive. You can tell how much I've had of this rum since, so that's going to be perfect to go in there. It's a 40% ABV rum. I've got a banana syrup here. I've got my honey syrup and I've got some chili bitters. Now, a couple of things I'm going to touch on. For those of you kind of doubting these methods of using liqueurs, using syrups to make liqueurs, don't be fooled to think that this doesn't actually happen on a commercial level. I'm not going to name drop, I can't because of legal reasons, but there are certain reputable gin companies in the UK that actually make their gin liqueurs by adding Monin syrups to their base gin and then selling that on the market. This is not illegal. It's not, it's not against the rules or anything like that. It is actually a standard practice. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about like the ABV. How can you sort of calculate the ABV? Now I will link to an ABV calculator that I would say most of the UK bartending industry uses. There's various different ones out there on the internet, but I'll link this down below. But standard practice for this is that if you take a 40% ABV rum, or vodka or whatever you're going to use, and you dilute that, so 50% of your mix is going to be rum and then 50% of it's going to be non-alcoholic, then you are diluting that, essentially your liqueur, down to a 20% ABV. You can come up with all kinds of things. If you want to produce a 30% ABV liqueur, you go for it, or a 15 or a 12% ABV liqueur. The calculator just works it out perfectly. You just put all the ingredients in there and you can sort of see what ABV you're coming up with. Now, the other point to note is the bottles I have for this are 350ml bottles. So they're just perfect for my size, for what I want to do. So the ratios, the ingredients I'm going to do are geared up for a 350ml bottle. But you can adjust if you want to do a 500 or if you want to do a 700, 750 if you're in the US. Again, it'll be easy to adapt, but the actual recipe that I'm doing here will also be in the description below. Now, this recipe I'm going to do is actually coming out at 20.1% ABV because my bitters are actually alcoholic as well. I think they're 44%. So this has been graded for a 20.1% liqueur. So first up, I'm going to need 165ml of my Funky Jamaican Rum. And that's what I mean. These graduated cylinders, measuring cylinders, are just perfect to kind of get all this. So 165ml of rum. Then I want 135ml of this banana syrup. Now, dare say there are some banana liqueurs in the market that are just simply made with a banana syrup and vodka, essentially. But I wanted to go rum, and I wanted to go for a funky rum because funky rums work very, very well with that sort of banana flavour. Now, next ingredient, I'm going to do these bitters, and you really don't need much of these bitters either. I'm going for 10ml. This is the habanero. What are they called? The Hellfire Habanero Shrub. These have got a proper lovely kick to it. But just 10ml of these. And then I'm just going to finish off with 40ml of this honey syrup, and this should fit in perfectly into this bottle. Probably by the extra 2ml, I've probably actually brought that down to a 20% ABV from 20.1. And there we have my spiced honey or honey spiced funky banana liqueur. Just give that a good shake up, and because all these ingredients are long life, this liqueur, because you fortified it even more with alcohol, this liqueur is going to last for flipping ages. So don't be frightened of batching this up, in like 700ml bottles or 750s or whatever. These ain't going to go off. And the other thing is, I know mixologists like to bang on about making their own stuff because it tastes better. The fact is, I'm not saying every single product that these brands produce is good. or fantastic or exceptional, but the vast majority are. They have millions and millions of pounds to spend on R&D. Some of these ingredients are in R&D for, or some of these flavors I should say, are in R&D for a year to perfect the flavors. So some bartenders getting a high horse, or mixologists getting a high horse because it's not homemade and it's got all these additives and all stuff like that. I couldn't give a monkeys. It tastes flipping good. To be fair, you know, the additives, you've got a lot more things in life to worry about. I mean, you're putting alcohol in your body. So additives, a couple of additives to make that last longer, the same additives that potentially go into wine, you know, no one whinges about that. So there we go. Honeyed, spiced, funky banana liqueur. Let's have a little taste. Today's video is sponsored by me. If you had a chance to download my free rum ebook yet, if not, you'll find the link below in the description of this video, or you can scan the QR code that's popping up on screen right now. My free rum ebook gets updated twice a year and it's packed full of interesting information and tips of how you can enjoy rum. It also includes a few basic rum cocktail recipes, plus how to make one of my favourites. This is a dragon fruit and papaya daiquiri. So what are you waiting for? As I said, you'll find the link in the description below, or you can scan that QR code. Right, back to the video. I'll tell you what, just off the nose, you're greeted with the Jamaican rum and you're greeted with this kind of real honeyed banana. I don't really get the chili on there, but I know the chili is going to come through in a second. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is seriously good stuff. Wow. Do you know what? Because of, I know it's a different concept. I totally get it's a different concept. You know, this is just a banana mixed with, I think, actually vodka. I don't actually know what goes into that. I'm assuming it's neutral spirit vodka. But the honey notes, the banana notes that come through there, the chili kick on there, that's flipping delicious. All you need now is some recipes of how you can use this. So the first of 6 recipes I'm just going to quickly bang out for you. I think this is going to work a treat. A funky banana Stormy, if you like. I'm just going whatever you want for this. I'm just making these weak because I'll drink a few of these. But I've got 30 ml of my favourite rum for a dark and stormy. Then I'm going to add 20 ml of my honeyed spiced funky banana liqueur. I'm going to whack in a wedge of lime. Just going to take my favourite ginger beer, whatever you've got, something with a little bit of heat to it. This stuff is lovely for this. Add in a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters. Give it a little stir. Top it up with ginger beer. Job's a good one. That's fantastic. Hot day. Sun's scorching outside. That is really lovely. The rum works, but you just get that banana-y, extra spicy honey note coming through there. That's a flipping tasty dark and stormy, or a funky banana stormy. Next up, let's go for a daiquiri. Why not? A funky banana spiced daiquiri. I've got my demerara sugar in there. I've got my lime juice in there already. I would normally go like an unaged rum for a daiquiri, but I kind of want like a little bit of, sort of that little bit of extra Jamaicanness in there. I think banana daiquiris with actually a little bit of aged sort of Jamaican rum work a treat. So I'm just going slightly under because that's a liqueur as well. So let's say making these for me as much as anything. So I'm just going 40 ml in there of my Worthy Part Select. And then I'm going to add 20 ml of this funky honeyed spiced funky banana liqueur. Quick shake and then double strained into our Nicanora glass. Garnish that with some of my Frona dried fruit if you want to. Right, honeyed spiced funky banana rum daiquiri. Oh dear God, that's delightful. It's not the light, clean, crisp, bright daiquiris that I really love. But when it comes to banana and sort of flavours like that, that's stunning. That's really good. So next up, let's go for a Mai Tai. In my blender tin, I've already got my lime juice, I've got my orgeat, I've got my demerara, I've got my 2 rum blender there. Again, I'll put these recipes in the description below so you kind of know the ratios that I've used. But then I'm just doing this instead of the orange liqueur, you know, your triple sec, your orange curacao. So we're just going for 15 ml into there, crushed ice, flash blend, and then we'll serve it up. There we go, lovely. Top it up with a bit more crushed ice. I'll get a sprig of mint out. I might use the photo of this for a thumbnail. What does this taste like, just very quickly? Oh, God. Banana Jamaican rum. The almond notes from the Mai Tai in there. That's 3 for 3 so far, but I've still got 3 more coming. Next up, I'm going for a Pina Colada riff. So I've got my coconut and pineapple already in my NutriBullet. Gone for Don Q Gold. You know, just Pina Coladas don't have to be that kind of funky, but you get this lovely little touch there. I'm going to go 20ml of this liqueur as well in there. Again, just add some crushed ice. You can add some saline solution to that, a wedge of lime if you want to, or a little bit of lime juice. But I'm just going to crushed ice, give it a little whiz, and then serve this up. There we go. Pina Colada done. Probably won't fill. Oh, no. Oh, look at that. We're bang on. I didn't think that'd fill the glass. I was just estimating in there. I'd made it a little bit smaller. But there. Funky, honey spiced. I keep forgetting what it's called. You know what it is. Funky Pina Colada. Oh, wow. Classic Pina Colada. Just with that level of banana and a little bit of spice, a little bit of chili, like warming honey chili coming through. Wow. Oh, that's my favourites now. That's really good. 5th recipe, I'm in the throes of making a Queen's Park Swizzle. I'm proper in Queen's Park Swizzle territory at the moment. So I've got demerara in there, I've got lime in there, I've got my mint leaves in there, I've done 1 shot of the Angostura. I'm going to top this up with a bit more crushed ice, add the banana, another shot of Angostura rum, give it another little swizzle. There we go, all finished up, and then I'm just going to crown this with like 6 dashes of Angostura bitters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Funky banana, honeyed, spiced Queen's Park Swizzle. That works so well. Oh my God, that works so well. Banana just comes through there again, but not overbearing this time. The banana really shines through in that Pina Colada. But I absolutely flipping adore that. That lovely hint of chili and that honey that sort of comes through at the end just rounds that off. I've actually got 1 more recipe to show you. And this is kind of verging on Tiki World because, as I say, you've got, what, 3, 4 different layers of flavours going on in that already. So you can kind of let that shine. So you can really make a basic sort of Tiki cocktail. So I'm going for 20ml of lime juice. I'm going to actually do a little bit more. I'm going to do 40ml of pressed, 100% pressed pineapple juice on there. Let's do this while I'm here. I'm going to add 20ml of my banana liqueur. We're going to go, this is small, let's get a big jigger. We're going to go 60ml of this rum as it's out. I haven't put it away yet. 60ml of this rum. I'm going to add some bitters, and then I'm going to add a touch of grenadine. Then just picked up a random glass, open gated pour. Let's keep the big chunky ice cubes in there. Oh no, perhaps can go in. I'll top that up in a second. But there you go. You know, Tiki cocktail done really simple. When you batch up all the ingredients like that, you just bring all those layers of flavour. Oh, that is fun. That is fun. The chili heat. Your chili heat really comes through in that one. The banana and the honey is sort of subdued. The banana's there, but it's that sort of chili heat. Wow. Perhaps, I don't know, pineapple maybe bring that out. Obviously, you've got the Angostura bitters in there as well. Honestly, let me know in the comments below what recipes you would make with this. Like, have I missed an obvious cocktail that you would add this to? Let me know in the description below. And if you've got an idea for a liqueur, again, put that in the description below. Let me know, and I might pick the best 2 or 3, or kind of give me a broad outline of what you want, whether you like a strawberry-based liqueur or a hibiscus-based liqueur or something like that. And then I'll go away and riff up, and we'll create a whole load of sort of these batch blend liqueurs. Right, this video took flipping ages to film. It's a good job I've got a few drinks to get through now, innit? See you next time.